Welcome to the Mom Room. Obviously, the recap or the catch-up, the little chit-chat at the beginning today is going to be about Hanson.
Yes. As you just serenaded me before we hit record.
Yes. I was like, listen to this. You know why? Because I was watching my own stories back because I posted some videos of them singing. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh.
And it's not just like a little, like she doesn't just sing you like a line. Like I had to listen for about 45 solid seconds.
Okay, but I just want other people to hear it. 1 second. Anyways.
You know what? His voice doesn't do it for me, but like I get it.
Oh,
Hanson is great. But
okay.
that's not like a Noah. Like no, that's not like giving you the
Taylor Hanson's voice.
It's very
no.
It just hit you at a time where you probably had a lot of emotions and hormones going, and so it hits ya.
So this is what I was thinking about last night. I was like, I am so like I love his voice so much. Even when I listen to old Middle of Nowhere songs, like I Will Come to You.
That's a slow one too. Yeah,
you.
see, I don't like. I'm not about that. No. I like his faster, like when he's like singing rock music. I like that.
There's something about his voice, and you're right. It's probably because like I grew up listening to it. Oh
yeah, you were like probably in your very emotional stage. You had like, your dark hair.
And it just I was trying to explain it to somebody and I said, you know what it is? It's the opposite of like a trauma response. It's the opposite of that. Oh
yeah, it's a dopamine response.
It's like it was Kathy that I was explaining this
serotonin.
To. Yeah. It's the opposite of like, oh, I feel triggered because I have trauma. It's like
Taylor Hanson is my therapist.
Something amazing is happening.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so
out of body experience.
His voice, like I can't. And he's like old and he has like 7 kids.
That's what I don't understand. So it's like, what are we doing here?
How does he maintain his voice?
There's got to be some modern science involved here. So I saw you struggled picking outfits for these concerts.
Oh my God.
Well, you eventually got it together, but I had to laugh out loud, like actual LOL, when you came out with the leather jacket and like another big jacket and like a big t-shirt and a skirt and with a sock and a shoe. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, is this SNL? Like, that's what I thought.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Pre's like, can you put jeans on? I'm like, I swear, like, this is what people on Pinterest wear. Like, it's cool. He's like,
yeah, keep it on Pinterest. It doesn't have to be in the real world. Keep that on Pinterest.
You know what it is? Like,
you don't see it walk in the streets.
No, it's the wrong skirt. Like, it was the right length and shape, but it was the wrong material of skirt. And I shouldn't have had the denim shirt underneath the leather jacket, but I was worried about it being cold, so I just like wanted to put it. Anyways, it was like, yeah, it was a mess. But with the jeans, then I looked really cool.
Yeah, that did look cool after. Yeah, I know, but it worried me because sometimes I'm like, wow, I ask her for advice, and like, there's no way you're going to put the second thought into it when you're giving me advice. And then I think, is she just going to toss me off one of these random fashion tips that she...
You should be worried.
Yeah. Oof. But to be honest, I never get compliments on anything except for if I wear your hand-me-downs. And they're like, oh my God, where's that from? I'm like, I don't know. I'll have to check the tag. Like, I have no idea. Sister got it.
There you go.
I showed up to Thanksgiving in a full pink tracksuit. Immediately, Mom called me out on it.
Like,
a matching tracksuit. Yours. From Zara.
Oh, the pants and the hoodie. Yeah.
Mom's like, where'd you get that from?
You're like, guess.
Yeah. Just a hot pink tracksuit sitting at the bonfire.
Okay. Tomorrow's a big day.
What's tomorrow?
It's the day where I'm allowing myself to have a midlife crisis.
Okay.
I'm getting nails.
Yes.
And I'm getting extensions.
Oh my God, you're going to be a Mormon.
I'm literally going to be... Like, at first, Kayla was like, how long do you want your hair to be? And I was like, I don't know. Like, because my hair... The thing is, like, it's pretty long, but it gets thin at the ends. So it doesn't have, like, the...
And you have not accounted for the extra weight when you get into the shower or when you go to dry your hair.
Listen, I'm not done my part of what I was going to say.
I'm just saying. I threw my neck out one time. I'm just saying.
Kayla was like, how long do you want to go? And at first I put my hand like here. So
you didn't immediately just say
thickness.
Alanis?
No, but
like what?
Kayla was like, she wants to do it like here.
Because I think that's
Past
the point.
my boob.
Like, don't get hair that's my hair.
I know.
Like, why?
But like some people get extensions just to make their hair thicker.
I know, but is that what you're going for?
No, I'm going straight Mormon way.
I was going to say, if you're going Mormon, then you're going to have to move it when you go to white. So think about it. I'm just saying.
I'm like, where's my hair?
There's going to be like a banana clip next to the toilet roll. You're just going to have to banana clip that up.
I know. There's like shit stains in my hair.
I used to have long enough hair that if you sat down without moving it, it was like, ugh, like
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
So not only is tomorrow my midlife crisis because I'm getting nails and hair.
Are you going a color on your nails?
I think I'm going to do the ox blood color. It's like a dark maroon. What? It's fall.
Is this from
That's
one of
like
your
the
books?
fall color. No,
Oh,
it's called ox
just
blood.
sounds
That's
norny.
what the
Sounds
color.
norny.
That's what the color is.
Okay. I just thought it'd be like a character's color.
But listen,
I don't know.
what's the day after my hair and my nails? I'm going to New York to see Shawn Mendes.
Oh my God, you didn't cancel.
I didn't
wasn't
cancel.
sure. You were on the fence last time I talked to you.
I was thinking about canceling and I couldn't cancel my flights. So I could cancel the hotel and I could sell my Shawn Mendes ticket, but I couldn't cancel the flights, which like are not that expensive. It's not that expensive to go to New York. It's like an hour flight. And
Yeah, but like like ballpark $500?
yeah, 400, 500.
Okay, so
Not like crazy.
that's like a savings.
It's not like
thing.
you're going to Vancouver for $1,500, you know?
That's crazy too. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah,
But
I never
anyways-
thought it'd be easier to go to New York, but okay.
So I couldn't, I guess because it's such a short flight, but also there's so many. It's like constant back and forth all day. So they're not that expensive. But Pri was like, if you can't refund your flight, like just go. Like just go. And I was like, okay,
Take a little hop over the pond
yeah,
border.
whatever. I'm just going to go.
Yeah. You're going to be like this in the front row. I don't know the words because nobody does because
I know.
nobody knows the song, Shawn.
Because Taylor Swift. Okay, let's get into our pop culture segment because this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah, I got a little whisper that it's her fault that all this is happening.
100%. I got really excited. Okay, so the whole thing is Shawn Mendes' album. I've probably already complained about this like 5 times on podcasts.
Make it
Like,
6.
Yeah,
Make it
let's
6.
make it 6. Just in case somebody's like just like tuning in and they don't know what's going on. So
Yeah,
Shawn
maybe.
Mendes was supposed to release his new album on October 18th. The show that I'm going to in Brooklyn is on October 18th. That happens to be the day. No, that's the date. That's tomorrow. When this is released, that'll be tomorrow. So I was so excited because the album probably comes out at midnight. I was going to listen to it all day before I went to his show and know all the words.
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
And be familiar with every single song.
And know why he wrote the words to those songs.
Yeah.
The
I would just like
storyline.
know everything. And I was like, he's also probably going to do something so special at the show because it's the album release day.
Yeah, that's what I was jacked for. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
going to a family party. That's what
Yeah.
you're going to get.
Like
yeah.
he's going to have like an after party, like all these like people are going to be there. I was super excited. And then there was all these whispers because Joe Jonas had an album coming out that day as
Yes.
well. And both Joe Jonas and Shawn Mendes moved their album release dates to November because, oh, we just want to make some final touches. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah, right.
It's because Taylor frickin' Swift is going to release something on October 18th, and everybody thinks it's like the new version of Reputation, which is so frustrating because
Is Reputation an album
yeah,
or a song? Oh, okay.
an album that she released a long time ago. But you know how she's re-recording all her albums.
Okay, so she's still working on all her albums?
She's still working on re-releasing them. Like it's all spread out. So
Jesus.
it's actually kind of genius, and like I can't blame her, but like I'm pissed, you know, because it's affecting me and my life now.
I know, but why does it take so long to just like sing your songs that you already know and put them on a CD?
She's
what's
on like a
going on?
world tour and she does like a million shows.
She
and
literally
she also
sings all those songs in the nights that she's on these
She
tours. Just put a
also-
microphone near you and record it. Like what?
She also just released Tortured Poets Department. She released Midnights last year, which are brand new albums. Plus the tour. Plus it makes more sense because you're constantly creating this big hoopla every time you re-release. So she's not going
But
to
you know what
re-release
that's
them all.
doing
What?
to some of us normal folk here?
You're getting annoyed.
Yeah. Like
She doesn't
give it
care.
up.
She doesn't care. She has enough people that are not annoyed, that are so
It's
excited.
kind of like
have
sad,
been
though.
waiting for this for so long, because every time she re-releases an album that she re-records, she adds like some vault tracks that have never been released before.
Ooh,
I know, but
what
Liza,
is it? Does she trinkles a little triangle in there at the end? Ding, ding, ding. Oh, she hit the triangle 13 times. I can't believe it.
More cowbell.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
you're not a Swiftie, so you don't care. You don't get it.
Yeah,
But
because it's a sickness.
it pisses me off, and I'm like really pissed off now.
Do you think Shawn's pissed off? Like, do you think other people are annoyed with T-Swift?
Oh, like
pack it in.
But the thing is like he still could release it. It's just everybody's so fucking afraid to release an album the same day that Taylor does.
No shit. He already made the worst decision in his business when he performed that other song instead of his YYY song. And now he's like, fuck, I can't make another mistake. I'm not going to drop it on the same
And like that is how
day.
powerful Taylor Swift doing anything is. Like everybody else in the music industry is like, okay, we're going to move our release dates because they know they're not going to get
That's what happens.
They're not going to get any press, they're not going to get any attention online, on TikTok, on anything like because everyone's just going to be focused on Taylor. Which like sweet for Taylor. Like she's fucking amazing.
No, but like that culture though of worshiping someone like that
called
so
business.
much makes me sick. It's so sad. Like
Liza,
the value that some of these girls are putting in this one girl, Taylor Swift. Like for example, whoever she backs up politically, whoop, there they go. They're all doing it. Like that's scary. That's really scary because Taylor's not saying everybody think for themselves and blah 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 and like do this.
She does say that, but
she's the head of a like cult. Like she's not trying to change the fact that all these girls are just like, you know, running after her and like obsessive. Like that's not right.
Liza, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I do hate the game. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the game.
Good.
Yeah. Which is our culture, which is like sad.
Anyways.
Because our culture is like a game.
It's not about this. What it's about is me going to see Shawn Mendes, and I'm not going to know the songs.
Yeah, that was like
that's what this is about.
Remember that?
So there's that, and then did you see this?
Maybe he'll switch it up. Maybe he'll play more old tunes because he's moved it.
Like I hope just like a couple, you know?
No,
like
I bet you he probably goes heavy and then just sprinkles in the new album.
No, because
nobody
he's already
wants
done
to be at a concert.
Liza, he's already done a bunch of shows and he's just playing his album.
And what are people saying?
People like just love him.
They like it
of who he is as a person.
Yeah, I know. See, like what the fuck?
And his voice and like he's so just like cutie patootie. Okay, moving on to the second story. Did you see the TikTok that I sent you? Because I have thought of
creating the reality TV show restaurant.
Yes.
She's
so
a genius.
guys,
she's taking over the world. She's going to be the next Bezos.
Imagine this. There's a bar or like a pub or like a club, but all they do is show reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
It is so genius. And I would be there all the time.
But you know what's like, again, like, I don't know if I'm just in a mood because like, again, it's sad to me that you walk into any restaurant and you will see golf, football, hockey, any restaurant.
Yeah, it's always around
always
sports.
Geared towards
men.
Mostly, yeah, the male audience.
Patriarchy.
It's 2024 and this idea doesn't exist and now we're calling it genius when really it should just be like a run-of-the-mill thing that you just put the TV shows on that the women want to fucking watch.
Yeah. And think about it, like watch parties, like all these things. It's like the finale of The Bachelor and they have like a whole event and like...
Remember when I used to do the fantasy league for Bachelorette?
Yeah.
Or Bachelor? Yeah. That was so fun. That's what they need to do.
So cool. So it says,
where is she? In the States or Canada?
Yeah, I think it's in the US.
Well, of course.
What if there was a bar where you could watch the dramatic finale of The Bachelor surrounded by fellow Bachelor Nation superfans? Kelsey Exley, an entrepreneur and content creator, is envisioning just that. The Met Gala, like all of these things. Imagine award shows.
Just the Kardashians?
Yeah, like, no, but like I'm going to go to the club and watch the Grammys. Like, that's so fun. Or like the bar, you know.
Because everyone's always on their couch like, oh, like I wish I was having some drinks with some friends. Like,
exactly. This is so smart. She goes, I find myself usually watching those events or shows alone in my bedroom, maybe sometimes having a few girlfriends over, but I always had the vision of being in a beautiful space like a bar that's very feminine and having other women and people around that have the same interests as me, and we all get to experience watching the award show or the reality TV shows together. Genius!
Yeah. And you know what? Start airing WNBA. Maybe at the noon o'clock, you know?
Women's sports bar. Yeah. So anyways, that was exciting, and I wanted that to be the second pop culture story.
Yeah, that's moving on. But are we going to get it in Canada? So when things like this happen, it's like, okay, 40 years from now, we might have one.
What if if she like franchises it?
Opening it.
Should I invest?
But ours has to be like a bar, but there's also cannabis on the other side of it. I'll run that
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But like, sure.
Even me and my friends in Guelph, we were going to reach out to some like restaurants or whatever that have big TVs just to like, can you show Vanderpump on this night? And like a bunch of us are going to come.
Yeah. We
never ended up doing it, but like we always think about doing that.
I'm surprised that more restaurants though, because like it sounds like her idea, it's going to be really geared towards the viewing. Whereas like a sports bar, like some of them are, but like a typical restaurant, like they're just like smaller screens like around.
And you can't hear the audio.
Exactly. So you're going to want like a big screen, like the radio you tune in, like a drive-in, you know, like at the tables. Yeah. Or even like if they have AirPods, just Bluetooth it. Like they can just like be right in there. So they hear every word.
Like the whole purpose of going to the place is to watch the show. And because like when it was
you can't trust that you're not going to have these drunk ass idiots just during all the parts you want to hear.
Oh, I'm sure. But
you got to be able to plug in.
It would be similar to when we lived in Victoria and we would watch the NCAA finals. Mm-hmm. There was a pub across the street that had a massive TV screen, and they would blast the audio. So like you could hear the commentators while you were watching, and like people could still talk, and like it's similar to like a bar that has loud music. But
yeah,
like,
but the audio for a reality TV show or something like that is
so different. But you have the captions.
Different.
You have the captions on the TV too.
Yeah, but like imagine you're blasting that audio and there's two girls just like everyone would be like, what the fuck? You don't want to hear certain things like that loud. Whereas like sports is one level, I find. No?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see what she does.
No, we're doing it.
Okay.
The Canadian version.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you ever watch like Canada's Bachelor in Paradise, like that kind of thing?
No, I don't. I'm not like a Bachelor. It's just like it's at a cottage. I used to watch a lot of The Bachelor, and I don't. Anymore.
They had like a little bunkies that they slept in, like a summer camp, and then there was like a main like big Muskoka.
See, I didn't realize that they filmed Bachelor in Paradise Canada in Canada. I thought they would still do it on like a tropical place.
No, it was in the Muskokas. Just like bonfires and stuff. Yeah. I just found my friend's audition tape to try and get on. Don't worry. We're not going to put that out there.
Are we going to try and do The Amazing Race again?
Like, do you actually think we could be successful at that? Because
it actually seems like my worst nightmare.
Like, yes.
I wanted to. Okay, can we move into our parenting segment now?
Hit me.
It's not about advice. It's more like we're commentating on these things that I found online. So
I wanted to get into that one, but yeah, okay, go. I wanted to get into that one, but I couldn't really get into it. And then I was like, am I that type of parent? I couldn't figure out what type of parent that was. I didn't get to the definition.
I had never heard of that kind of parenting, but it makes sense.
Sounds like something they probably just came up this year.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they're popping
First, though, did you guys hear about, I did not hear about this. Did you guys hear about the husband that saved a cooler of his wife's breast milk through Hurricane Helene's floodwaters?
Hero.
And it just goes to show, it's like, what are we saving in the house? Like the breast milk, obviously.
Yeah, the life, the liquid gold.
So this article was on Scary Mommy, and it says, in the wake of Hurricane Helene, a TikTok shared by Emily Singleton captured the absolute badassery of Appalachian communities as they navigate the devastation. The video captured Singleton's friends Josh Johnson and Graham Avery working together to save something worth more than gold to new moms, breast milk. So the day after the hurricane, her friend Logan Avery was scrambling to preserve her breast milk and reach her parents who had a generator.
They had to use the river. So the river was keeping the milk cold in these coolers. That's what he
Okay.
said. He's quoted saying that's what Mama and Papa used to do, like way back in the day to keep the milk good, is the water. Anyways, and they use the water like almost like a conveyor belt, like a highway for the milk to like float down. They had ropes like, attached. It was
my
wild.
gosh.
It wasn't just like, oh, like, you know, toss me the cooler over this little river. No, it was like big time efforts to save this breast milk.
That is so amazing, though.
Yeah.
This is so funny because in the caption, they were like, so I guess they were using a Yeti cooler and they were like, Yeti, sponsor us.
Yeah.
This would be like one of those situations. Remember the girl whose car exploded, lit on fire, and was it a Stanley?
I do not remember this story. I don't know this
Oh
story.
my God. It was like a TikTok that went viral. So her car like caught on fire or was in a fire or something. And her Stanley, I think it was a Stanley, was like mint condition, just like still in the car. Water was probably still cold.
Yeah. Ice cubes. Good to go.
Yeah. And so Stanley like bought her a new car.
What?
Because she like made a TikTok about it.
Yeah.
Stanley was like, this is literally the best advertising we could ever ask for.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so I hope
amazing.
Yeti does something like that with these.
Yeah, new house. They need
So
that now.
just for like some breast milk safety here, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that freshly expressed breast milk be stored at room temperature for up to 4 hours and then in the refrigerator for up to 4 days or the freezer for 6 months. So that's that on that.
Hey, if you're breastfeeding past 6 months, good on you. I was in the game for about a solid 6 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
I had hooked myself up to that big pump once or twice, and then that was game over.
Called it a
See you
day.
later. Yeah.
And then
packed it
there was
up,
me
returned
that
the
was
old pump.
like, why? Oh yeah, because Milo was having, it's like a whole thing, but like, remember, I thought Milo was having diarrhea. Turns out, I don't think it was diarrhea. I think that's just what babies' poops look like. But
Yeah. Where was I around? Like, where was I to look at these poops? Because I could have told you that, but
I don't know. And the added pressure was that he had jaundice, and I was worried that he was going to have to stay overnight in the hospital. So like, I had all this like, I was like, the last thing I want to do is go back to the hospital. Are you kidding me? Like, it was just a nightmare. And Pri was like, we can just give him formula and everything's going to be fine. I was like, what?
is that
anyways,
a voice of reason?
The formula, everything just seemed to be a lot better, like with regard to him having gas and like stuff like that. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Change my diet for 2 weeks, see what happens, still have him like suffering and being stressed out. And then if it's not like what I cut out from my diet for those 2 weeks, then move on to something else. I was just like, I can't deal with this. Like, I'm not doing an elimination diet while I'm so stressed and stuff. So anyways,
No.
I kept, because I was like, oh, once he gets a little bit bigger, I'm sure he'll be fine with the breast milk. So I kept pumping forever, for like months, just putting it in the freezer, bagging it, like putting the date on it in the freezer. I had so many bags of breast milk. And then I would try periodically to give him the breast milk again. Same thing would happen. Like, just like didn't react well to it. And I was like, great, now I have all this breast milk. Like, I fully gave up after a while. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Why am I waking up in the middle of the night to pump? And like, stupid.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I can't
so
even
stupid.
imagine.
But I had like all these pressures, feeling like I had to do this. And, you know, ugh, it's so stupid. So anyways,
so
then I couldn't even donate my breast milk because I take anxiety medication.
You're like, is there not an anxious baby out there that needs this milk? There's gotta be an anxious baby.
Literally. So here I am, like all this hard work, like months and months of breast milk, just like in the garbage.
You didn't try to black market?
I didn't.
It did.
But-
He actually like to drink the breast milk? It was just his poops after?
Yeah, he was just like,
Oh yeah, he
like,
used to stay on your boob forever.
ever.
Yeah, see, Poppy,
Like
we would try
45
and trick
minutes
her.
each side.
Oh God, we try and trick Poppy, and even like switch, like she was latching okay, like whatever, but we were trying to just put it in the bottle, the same that like the formula, you know, back and forth kind of thing. And as soon as the breast milk touched her lips, she'd be like, hated
Gross.
it. Yeah,
She hated it.
I must have disgusting breast milk. Like,
Were
I
you
don't know.
offended?
Yeah, I was like, and I was like really making milk. Like, I was like, look at me, like filling those little Medela tubes. Like, yeah, taking pictures of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
You know why, though? 'Cause
to
I-
just like stop though, that that was more painful, I would say, than my, like, I cried more from the pain of, like, the milk in your boobs when you're trying to stop breast milk.
See, I never had issues like that. Like, I remember them feeling full, but I slowly weaned off of pumping. Did you just, like, stop cold turkey?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I didn't want anything touching my nipples.
That's why.
And then they got rock hard, and I just sat in the chair and cried. I couldn't even put my shoulders back because it was just, like, so much pain. And meanwhile, I was cut hip to hip, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. It's these boobs that are making me cry. Yeah, that was the worst.
That's after 6 hours of breastfeeding.
Yeah, and then, 6 full hours. Okay? I had to call the health unit, cancel the appointment, like, the whole thing.
You're like, yeah, I breastfed for 6 hours. And
yeah, it was rough. But then I go to mom's house and we do like the cabbage thing. Well, does she not give me freaking purple cabbage? And now I have a dyed purple hard ass boobs that I'm like, yeah. So I had a purple chest for a little bit.
You go to the hospital, they're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She's bruised.
No wonder she didn't like your breast milk. Okay, well, that was fun. Next article. What is intensive parenting? I saw this TikTok. I came across it and I liked the end, how she wrapped up the TikTok. So I saw the TikTok first and then I was like, oh, they wrote an article about it. I like this.
Okay, well, next time send me the TikTok, not the article. Okay.
Sorry. There is a link in the article to the TikTok, by the way.
How far down? Do I have to read
know.
it? We talked about my reading abilities, okay? Like, Jesus.
Okay, so she talks about intensive parenting. So what is this latest parenting trend? You might not even know you're a part of it. That's what they say. So she says, I just learned that my parenting style is called intensive parenting, and it's the style that probably a lot of parents these days are using. Her TikTok account is called Unsolicited Sarcasm, and that's a good name. And she says it's where you are talking to your kids while they're watching TV shows, so they're not just staring at the screen. That's me for sure. I'm like, oh, I got to like ask Milo a question. I got to like interact with him, and like it's crazy. It's telling kids that they should be proud of themselves instead of telling kids that you're proud of them. It's a lot of these little nuanced things that you're seeing on TikTok and on social media, and you're being advised to do by the Miss Rachels and the Dr. Beckys of the world. It's called intensive parenting. She says it's wonderful and it makes for great humans, so it's very beneficial for our kids, but it's so intensive that the Surgeon General just said that parental stress is at an all-time high, and we're in danger of having a universal health crisis because of the levels of parental stress. And she says that we are in a position where we figure out if we continue putting all of ourselves into our children to help them become better humans, like this intensive parenting thing, or if we scale it back and keep a few extra years on our lives and we just raise complete assholes. So basically she's saying, do we continue this intensive parenting and create like these perfect little humans, which is a false belief.
We don't do that. Now they're going to be assholes.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's how she ended the TikTok. She was like, so do we keep intensive parenting like for the sake of our children, or do we add some years to our lives by just kind of like stepping back a little bit and giving a few less fucks, but then raise assholes? But
a decision.
The whole thing, and like I've come to this realization over the last couple days, is that not only are parents feeling so much pressure to do this intensive parenting kind of thing and like gentle parenting, and we're so concerned about like doing the right thing, and every single moment with our children is like, it has to be the best.
It's manufactured, which is like crazy. That's the worst part.
So there's that part of parenting today, but then there's also like everybody is struggling like financially. Both parents are working full time. You have less time with your children. Everybody is like overscheduling their kids, like we talked about last week, in sports and activities. And it's like, how much more stress can we put on ourselves and on families? Like how much more? How much more?
It's like this idea of like this achievement idea. Like I feel like we've gotten to a place in humanity where like all the people, you know, went through all the like world wars and like got us like where we're at. Like we're like harvesting their own foods and like, you know, like every day, like actually like trying to keep their body alive, you know, like actually survive.
Yes.
Like they went
like
through all that
survival
stuff.
Things.
Yeah. And now like we're in a place where we have like most, like I can speak for myself. It should be good. Yeah. Most of our situations are pretty good. Like even us, like, yeah, we're under like financial stress, right? As most people are. But like I still have like a house and a car and like we have so many like great things. Like I just don't know when we just stop and just like enjoy what we have.
Yeah.
You know, and like the living part and not work towards anything. Like just stop working towards something, or every time you speak to your child, it's for a reason. Like why? Like just build that natural relationship with your child, you know? Genuine. Just a genuine. Don't try to perform for them because then they get the wrong idea. That's not a human thing.
Yeah. So I just recorded with Super Nanny yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Of course she loved me.
Oh, well, she'll even love me even more.
I was like, you're my best friend now.
I'm giving her a call after
Anyways, this is what we were talking about. The whole, you know, overthinking parenting thing, and how to the point where people are trying to say the correct scripts to their kids. I was like, can you imagine I did that with my husband? Like, oh, he just did this in the morning. What was I supposed to say to that again?
Yeah, like,
yeah, and it's like it creates this like robotic, non-genuine connection,
natural,
you know? And like Ariana just came over for coffee this morning, and she was like, we were talking about that, and she was saying, yeah, and what happens is you say what you think you're supposed to say in a certain situation, but then your child doesn't react in the way that you expected them to, and then you're like, well, fuck, I don't have a second script. I don't know what. Like,
you're like,
now
wait,
what?
I did this. Now you're supposed to do that, and you didn't do that. So now what do? I'm super stressed because I don't know what the next page said in the book or like whatever, you know?
Yeah. And so I'm kind of like a trailblazer in the fact that I have always kind of questioned these things that people put out on social media. And, you know, like I love like an expert and I love tips and tricks and all
your
that
background's also deciphering data. So
exactly. Like I have a background to be questioning everything. Like that's literally just in my blood. Like I'm like, yeah, but what about, because that's just what I do.
And to be honest, we were raised like that. Like we were never just told to believe something just because, you know?
Yeah, totally. For show.
Yeah, for show. Shout out to our parents. Yeah.
Years ago, and this is like a bit of tea. Okay. TEA.
Is this from Super Nanny?
The tea is hot. No, this is just my
your
history
tea from years ago. Okay.
Years ago, I was like a very small account, and I made a TikTok that was satirical, like it was funny, and some people just don't have a sense of humor. But it was basically like a child. I was acting out as a child. I was like having a tantrum on the floor.
Is this the one where you threw the banana and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was having a tantrum on the floor, and then as the mom, I was like, honey, I know you're upset, like da 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 da, using like a kind of script that people would use in that situation. And then the child just like stops having the tantrum, and they're like, thank you, mommy. I feel better now. Like it was just like a funny
emotions
little thing.
Restored.
Yeah. And so I put that out. It's hilarious, obviously.
Yeah.
And I get a message from this
the gentle parent herself.
A massive parenting expert account. Okay.
All right.
This was years ago.
Okay.
They wrote me the biggest message, basically trying to like threaten me and be like
join us or get off of social media.
No, but they were being so passive aggressive and just so, you know, I can't believe like as somebody with like a mom platform that you would like, do this. Da, 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 like making fun of our techniques or blah blah blah. And I was just like, anyways, I think about that all the time, and I'm just like,
don't you want to meet the person that was sitting at their desk that day? Just like, or do you think it's like it was an account that's like run from someone at home, or is it like a business?
No, this is a business.
Oh yeah,
with like millions of followers.
Okay. Let's take them down.
A very popular account.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get all the deets.
So that's a little bit of tea that I thought I would share.
Yeah. And if a big corporation goes down in the next week.
Life of an influencer, you know? It's the kind of shit that I deal with.
Man, you are tough. No wonder you had to get that security system. They're coming for you.
The one, oh no, I won't say
it. They ain't so gentle when you piss them off.
Exactly. I was like, why don't you validate my feelings?
Yeah. What about mine?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Like, Jesus.
What's the idea here? What's this intensive? I'm
So
just
it's
not big on the
basically-
labels. Like,
I
'cause to me,
think
it's like,
it's just silly. Like everything needs a label nowadays, which I also have a problem with. But
you can't label people like
intensive
personalities or
parenting,
so.
I think she's just, it's basically like you're trying to incorporate all these things and you're
cognitively always active.
yes, you're constantly like, and I sometimes look at Pre and I'm like, God, I wish I had your brain, because he's
he can
just
just
able
shut
to
her
like,
down.
whatever, you know?
Just unplug that guy.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm home. Like Milo's watching YouTube Kids.
No
like,
patience on
my
the
wife is
gurney.
here. Like, yeah, everyone's alive and well. Like, things are good. Things are good. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, how much screen time has he had? Like, okay, if we go for a
Right.
walk later with the dogs, then we get some outdoor time. And okay, we should probably go for the park. I wonder if the neighbors are going to be home. He could go play out with the girls next door. Like, I can't just fucking chill.
And you know
ignore-
what's
and, like,
wild, though, is that, like, the catch-22 there is that you stressing and worrying about all those things will probably increase Milo's screen time. Like, if that's what you're actually worried about. Like, say that's the one stressor.
okay.
Because you're so stressed now. Like, you're doing you're thinking of all these other things, blah, blah, blah. Like, whereas if you would have just lived in the moment, you would have probably enjoyed going outside. Like, it would just be a natural interaction. You wouldn't even be thinking about it. You'd be like,
know,
hey,
I'm
let's
trying
go
to
on
be
the deck.
better.
You know?
I'm trying to be better.
No, it's how we've been, like, our whole generation is just
Yeah.
constantly trying to achieve something or prove their worth
Be better.
through achievement.
No, especially in motherhood. Like, you're constantly feeling like you should be doing something and doing something better.
Yeah, but that's how it is even in our
And doing
school
something
system
productive.
and even with athletics and everything. Like, it's always just strive to achieve. Like, when do you just like chill and be happy that like humans did a pretty good job? Like, we got a pretty good situation going on. Like, you know, we're not in
For
caveman
now.
days.
Till the
Okay.
aliens come.
Well, hey, they're probably why we are where we are. Okay, we might still be rubbing sticks together if they didn't land here.
On Insufferable, did I talk about the alien stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, is that coming up? Was that already out?
No, we haven't even recorded Insufferable for next week yet.
No, but did I already talk about the aliens on Insufferable?
You told me about your friend telling you a story about the aliens being here
And
in
how
the
like there's a documentary coming out soon? I can't wait.
Yeah, but there's lots of documentaries.
I know. And
like
they creep me
Area
out.
50 something with one.
They creep me
50.
out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The gray people.
into our content segment, I have two things to talk about. Number one, if you haven't seen Shrinking, you need to watch Shrinking. Pri and I are watching season 1 over again
Okay.
because he's never seen it, and I want to watch the second season.
You think
with him.
he's going to be into that?
Yeah, he likes it.
Oh.
Jason Segel is like the best actor. Like, he's so good.
I was thinking of Steven Seagal.
No, Jason.
I
the
was
guy
like, why?
from
Like, is he making a comeback?
what's that movie that he was in with Kristen Bell?
Forget about her. Unforgettable Marshall on Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting about Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Something about Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Anyways, so good. Like,
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the lead actor. He's a therapist. Also, Harrison Ford is in it. Unreal.
That's
such good acting.
the whip guy from the caves, right?
Harrison Ford.
He plays the Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The whip guy. Oh my God. I'm like, I had no idea what you were talking about.
Who else has a whip?
I don't know.
Exactly. It's Indiana Jones. Like, there's nobody else like swings around in caves with a whip. Jesus.
Oh my God, I can't.
Read a book.
So anyways, everybody watch season 1. It's on Apple Plus. It's amazing. I binge watched it and I don't have an attention span, so that's got to say something. Watching it again, that's also got to say something.
Yeah,
And then the new season of it comes out on October 16th. I cannot wait.
Okay.
I cannot wait.
Oh, other fun fact. For our Canadians, child benefit comes October 18th.
All right.
Woo!
All right. And
Back
what
to
is
back,
this?
good days.
This is like a check?
Yeah, Renee, you get it too. It's just when you already have money in your account, you
Cool.
don't notice it.
Cool.
Okay? But when
Cool.
it's like 2 numbers and it goes to 3 numbers. Just kidding. But yeah, October 18th. No, I had to look into it because turns out we didn't file our taxes. So they've been holding it from us
Oh,
for
okay.
months. So it's going to be a good one.
Nice.
Happy birthday to me. Did you order my birthday present already?
No, I'll do that today.
I got so excited. An Amazon truck pulled in and I was like, oh, and he was carrying 2 little packages. I was like, I didn't order those. And so he dropped them off at the door and then I waited for him to pull away and I snuck out. It was for our buddy downstairs. Wasn't mine. Wasn't mine.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing with regard to content, I stopped reading our book club book and I'm not finishing it. Huh?
Oh, are you getting kicked out of the club?
You would think that would be a rule. Like, oh, you're not going to read this book? Like, get out.
You can't just do that.
I know. I'm not reading it. I'm like, why am I wasting my precious reading time before bed reading something that I'm not enjoying?
Uh-oh. Who picked this one?
Alex. It's a witch book. Like, it should have been so good. And some of us are just having a hard time getting into it. Like, Alex and Kayla loved it. Brittany, Ariana, and I are like, And finally, I was just over halfway through. And I'm like, I'm not reading it anymore.
Well, foot down.
So I started reading this book called Bye Baby. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable so far.
What's it about?
I love it.
Give me the synopsis.
So far, notes. What I can tell you is it's about, like, it goes back in history and then to present day with these 2 friends. And one of them is like married, just had a baby. And the other one is still like single and dating. And so they're kind of like having different paths now. Yeah. And so the one that is married and has a baby is also like a influencer on social media. So it's really interesting to hear how the friend...
Is their name Renee?
No, but it is interesting. And it made me think, like, is this how my friends feel about me in real life? Like, it really, because like it goes back and forth from each of their perspectives.
Okay, that's
and
cool.
So the girl that is still single and not the influencer, and you know, their friendship is kind of like they don't really see each other that much anymore. And at the same time, like, she just had a baby, so that's a really busy time of life. And the friend is always like, she uses that as an excuse all the time, but you can't even question it because it's like, oh, I have to go home, the baby, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, anyways. And then she's like, I never get to see my friend, but here she is like documenting her entire life for everybody else. And I don't really talk to her anymore, but like she goes to like all these events and like hangs out with all these other people. And I could see where my friends would feel the exact same way about me, but like,
they wouldn't see it as like a job. Like,
well, that's the thing. My job is a very social thing.
Yeah.
It appears that I have all these other friends, you know, like through
Shawn Mendes.
work. It's like, 100%.
Like,
it's like I have a husband, a
Super
boyfriend,
nanny.
Shawn Mendes. I have, a super nanny is like my best friend now. You know,
I think we would get along. I've always loved her.
She's the best.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about content. So the book is called Bye Baby, and everybody should read it. So far, it's really good.
Okay. I returned all our library books today on time. Today was the last day.
Oh, good.
Got them in there.
What do they charge nowadays, like with inflation, for a late library book?
I'm not even willing to find out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should take Milo to the library and get him a little card.
Yeah, get your library card. You get it too. And then download Hoopla or Libby, the Libby app. And then you get all your books
fix my
and
Kobo.
stuff.
I have to fix my Kobo.
Well, you can get it on your iPad.
I don't read on my iPad. I read on my Kindle right now because my Kobo is not connecting to the Wi-Fi for some reason. Oh. And the Kindles, people always ask, like, because they know I have both e-readers, and they're like, what's your, like, what do you like better, blah, blah, blah. Like, the Kobos, I think, are just in Canada because they're from Indigo. Okay. Those are, you're able to connect to a library to download books through the library, whereas the Kindle, you have to basically buy everything. Or you could do, like, the Kindle Unlimited, and you get access to some free books. But with regard to like the actual machine of it or like product, the Kobo is, I have the really expensive Kobo with like the color on it because they gifted it to me. And it like works amazing. It's a lot faster. It's like clear. I love the color of it. The Kindle is more. Kindle? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought the Kindle was like the Apple of e-readers. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. I have the Kobo. Remember you got me a Kobo.
Yeah, exactly. Because I knew you could connect to the library.
Wait, what do you mean that? I don't understand. Like, it's the same.
You can't connect to the library with a Kindle.
I know, but you just go on your Amazon and buy whatever you want. It goes on your Kindle, right? It's the same thing.
That's what I do. I'm just saying you can't get free books.
You don't get free books on a Kobo, do you?
Yeah, because you connect it to the damn library.
Oh, that works?
Yeah, you can download electronic books from the library.
Okay. I thought
you didn't know that?
No, I was telling people, I'm like, the apps are cool, but you'll be on your phone or your iPad. I didn't realize you could do it on a Kobo.
Yeah.
Well, fucking right, man. I got one of those. I'm going to go charge her up.
There you go.
Type in my little code.
All right, everybody.
Look.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah?
Wait till you see my nails.
Look at that. Look at that.
You're going to get a foot cramp.
I did. It's right there. Oh, God.
I knew it.
That's the worst.
You want to point your toes? You're going to suffer. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back next Thursday. Enjoy your weekend. I will be at Shawn Mendes tomorrow. I hope. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Bye.
Bye.